Aquarius. So I'm like super hype because today I got like super, I don't even know what the word is. I found my impetus to kind of try a different type of character development than I have before, and it actually worked beautifully. There's something about you becoming. Okay, have you seen Becoming Mary Jane? Because that's kind of like the level that I'm seeing you on at this point. This is Ascension Symptoms. Pretty Wings by Maxwell. There's something about being able to, like, you know how a jet, like a pilot, a jet pilot, can maneuver the plane in so many different positions. It's almost like the plane is running backwards. It's almost like the pilot is so skilled that they can like just manhandle the joystick to the point where the plane is actually flying backwards. That's the level of expertise or skill that I am seeing coming out of your neck of the woods, if I can. You're extremely talented at whatever it is that you do, whether that's good or bad. And I don't know, I'm not going to know that until I draw this energy. This is the Sofan Chan Buddha Dharma Oracle deck. Um, so what I saw today that kind of inspired me was people consistently speaking about body image. Okay. Seeing too much legs, seeing too much cleavage. I have such a hard time with buying into any of that because we can get really mad over vital little details that we think are important as a third world country over here. Big bad, high and mighty on our high horse, right? But at the end of the day, other countries don't operate like that. They just don't. And when they see a country that operates in a way that believes they are the dominant factor, the only body, the only planet, the only, like, the sun just revolves around, like, to some people maybe that's the case, but those people are probably extraordinarily humble, and they've probably done an extraordinary amount of work on themselves, probably done an extraordinary amount of sacrificing, probably done an extraordinary amount of appearing and a disappearing. It's praise and blame coming out in the reverse. This is number 3 in the reverse. You are no longer blaming something for, or somebody or yourself maybe, for the way that you are. Praise and blame in the upright says, just as a solid rock is not shaken by the storm, even so the wise are not affected by praise or blame. One of my favorite quotes that I say all the time is just that, the more I know, the more I know I don't know. And that is, it becomes more legitimate with each piece of knowledge and information that I receive, as if looking out at the night sky full of burning stars that have been extinguished, possibly already. Perhaps this is their first day and they're already dead. They're DOA, dead on arrival. There's something about you being able to discern between what's alive, what's dead, what's got a life force energy, a source, an origin, a gain and loss is also in the reverse, is number 2. So now we've got number 3 as well as number 2 in the reverse on the table. Number This in the upright, gain and loss, says, though 1,000 times, okay, in that short of time I was able to just channel LMI 1,000 times over. If you've never heard that song, you might want to listen to it. 1,000, and let me start this quote over again because it's really important that we hear all of it. In fact, though 1,000 times, 1,000 in battle one may conquer, yet should one conquer just oneself, one is the greatest conqueror. Had a really hard time reading that because I felt like belching multiple times during that process. There's something that you may need to review about your own potential, Aquarius. Dhamma is at the bottom of the deck. This is the dawn of a new era. It's a new age. This is not going to be the same antic that we've already played out time and time again. This is the age of Aquarius. So if anyone has Dhamma coming to them, you can add that +1 because this is number 30, Dhamma. Don't seek to grasp Dhamma with your mind. Don't try to understand it. You can know it only when the mind is still, and that's by the Buddha. I do want to say, this is card number 3, card number 2, and now card number 30 coming out in the upright. There's something about this praise and blame, gain and loss that has not paid off for you, Aquarius. There's some Dhamma that you're possibly looking at receiving, looking at doling out. I don't know why I'm seeing the dole sign on like a Monsanto fruit product. That's really weird because that's kind of cross-splicing things, but whatever. I'm not in a position to say no to the universe. Angry Mind came out. Yes. So there's something about you needing to temper yourself a little bit. I don't know why, but I'm also feeling like this praise and blame is like pointing a finger at somebody and having 3 more pointing straight back at you. It's a reciprocal relationship that will, switch itself according to the way it needs to be perceived. You're not going to be able to put your finger on it. It's not something that is either alive or dead. It's the energy that has potential energy. And if you have an angry mind at the top of the reading, number 10, then you've got 3 and 2 in reverse as well as 30 in the upright. You're gonna this is what this looks like. You cannot point a finger. You cannot talk about gain and loss, competition, whatever the case may be. That's over. That was an old era where nobody had their eyes open, including myself, to the Dhamma that could be accrued by karmic relationship. When people say karmic, I think what they mean is like, oh, this person is literally somebody that was only in my life for a season or a period of time to make an impact, and then I'm out. You argue one time and it's over, right? Some people are just like that, and I'm gonna give you a piece of advice. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them the first time, because if they do it once, they will attempt to do it again. Did you hear what I said? I heard it? Did you hear it? They will attempt it yet again. Excuse me. Okay, sorry, Aquarius. I'm not really sorry, but I had to use the restroom and I got really cold in there. So honestly, what I'm seeing here is just that the Dhamma of an angry mind, of somebody who has been holding on to generations worth of trauma, of absolute just destruction, wreckage, trauma, abuse, all that. I think you're unsubscribing from other people's issues because, as disgusting and TMI as this is, while I was in the restroom, I had this idea of like, oh man, I really needed to, release, right? But then I realized that releasing is really realizing your consciousness, being able to let go of your own consciousness to a certain degree. Not saying that you're going to numb out 100%, but it also means that discernment allows you to decide who is going to have the power to either affect you positively or negatively. And that's something that I think you're learning right now, Aquarius. Yeah. So for this praise and blame, it's a really slow moving energy. You're not going to get anywhere fast doing that. Blaming people. I'm hearing Jamie Foxx blame it on the alcohol. You can blame it on the alcohol if you want to, but you should just probably tell the truth, and then you don't got to worry about the alcohol becoming a problem. You know what I'm saying? The alcohol resolves itself once the root, the source, the origin of the issue has been found. I'm seeing a lot of Kunta Kinte energy running across my psyche. That's super strange. However, I did have a kind of channeling about La Amistad and how LA is kind of the corner that we always used to refer to. We always used to refer to it as being a reference point for entertainment and a little sprinkled truth, right? The next card out is the Nine of Wands. So you need to actually defend yourself against this gain and loss. There are certain people who don't believe that things can coexist. They just don't think that. They think that if a man is a man, he's a man. If a woman is a woman, she's a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no in between and there's no autonomy at all because of the gender roles that these two are required to play in order to coexist. If there's any crossing of those gender roles, we then freak out and have this like, oh my God, existential crisis of gender and genesis and what kind of creation options do we have? And oh my God, are we leaving this planet? Like y'all, sometimes you just need to chill out. That's it. You probably could get exactly what you want, but this is a similar situation to a child throwing a temper tantrum and the adults in the situation just throwing themselves on the ground next to the child and screaming, yelling, kicking and screaming just as loud as the child is because they didn't get their way. That Dhamma on whatever angry mind it is that whatever angry mindset you're in, the only thing that's going to happen is that this childish mindset of being angry about something that you've never been able to control, like other people. Even if you were successful tricking somebody else's mind or um serving them up with whatever lesson you think they needed to learn, you now have clouded judgment, not only behind your eyes. Your vision is not only clouded, but you've incurred dharma on yourself because of your angry outside of like, I don't know what this is, Aquarius, but it is like this is a Someone about to get their dummy right back. This is number 30, and this is the King of Pentacles. I do just want to say there's 2 cards in the reverse and 2 cards in the upright. E2 Brute. That is like the first day that this is coming through for this specific card. But that's the bottom of the read with Angry Mind. Okay? You want to get angry, you want to lose your temper, you want to call people names, you want to act out of sorts, you want to be immature and rude. Some people are not going to put up with that. There are a ton of females out there who don't seem to mind getting hit in their face, in their mouth, in their throat, in their heart space. There are other women out there who will never be all right with that. Will never be all right with that. I don't care what time it is. If I ever have to talk to you again, I don't want to, like that's too soon. You know how people crack jokes and be like, oh, too soon? Yeah, too soon. There's nothing funny about a genocide of a people based off war. If that's somehow hilarious to you, funny, entertaining, putting money in your pocket, you might need to consider what kind of consumerism you've been on lately. Because you've been consumed by a lot more than consumption. There's probably like a demon on your back wondering whether you've burned the house down yet or not. And now it's not going to be a Giselle Brady moment when you figure it out. It's going to be a long walk from Piedmont. Atlanta General. That's what this is. This is Grey's Anatomy. Let me erase this. Doesn't seem like it was very worth it. Whatever drama you're accruing for yourself, or that you're pushing out of your life, or that you're releasing, I feel like it's something that you feel cold to. It's almost like you were predestined to feel cold to it. This is Final Destination kind of feeling. Today's a good day to die. And it's on some Final Destination, but death does not become you for some reason. You're like in the Heroes movie where you're the cheerleader that can jump off the damn top of the tower as many times as you can handle. And for some reason, maybe like 13 of them if we're going to talk about kisses and hugs and shooting moons and when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. Yeah, no, this is no longer okay with you, Aquarius. I don't know what has happened, but you're kind of like, I don't really get Aquarius being super irate very often, but this is one of those times that you were on some Cleopatra, E2 Brute, forget about Caesar, forget about seizing the day, where no, this is not going to be a c'est la vie kind of situation. Okay, Sailor Moon? Nobody wants to see the backside of the moon like this. That's a full Monty and it's ugly. Not anymore, because the Aquarius ain't having it. To the Aquarius, that's dirty, filthy, nasty, disgusting energy, by the way. Of course, we're only talking about energy, right? No vessels or bodies or anything like that. No real life people on reality TV shows or in real life that are just so angry that they cannot keep their misery to their Les Miserables. You wanted to live the life of Orphan Annie, and now that you do, right meow, you don't want to anymore. So you're going to do what you're good at, which is becoming an alley cat. Trust me, there's that song Coi Leray, Players. It's an interesting song just because it's kind of like I'm a diva, like, or a female, a hustler, a diva, a male. Does she define all of those for you? What is a female? What is a male? What is a woman? Who's on top? Girls? Do they rule the world? Sometimes we get confused, and then it's just like, so long. So long, farewell, Avita, saying goodbye. I do, I do. To you, and you, and you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. That's how I feel right now. You might be feeling like that, Aquarius, like, oh, everyone can catch it. Well, this was going to be your advice. I'm going to let you jive and shuck and dance and jive and all that good stuff. Like, if you've never heard the Java Jive, I love coffee, I love tea. I love the Java Jive and it loves me. If only I was Venus, staring at my own twin, serving the hell out of Serena.